that video. Mr. BJ, Mr. Wizard
Nice.
himself, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It is. Was it almost just after 1 in the morning? But this is like my lunchtime, I guess.
Yes, that is true. You are a bit of a weird one when it comes to sleeping patterns,
Yeah, absolutely.
but I
I
suppose it's
kind
what,
of shifted to like a central US over the past year.
it's what happens when you have American friends, I guess. Um,
Yeah, exactly that.
so, yeah, I mean, I hope you are doing well today. Obviously, happy birthday. Not his birthday today, by the way, everyone. It was his birthday yesterday, but we're going to say happy birthday anyway.
Yeah, I just add a few more onto it.
Yeah,
We're good.
well, I have a birthday week, so you can have a birthday week as well.
I mean, I'm off all week, so I guess I could celebrate.
What's the sleeping pattern when you're a Warzone player? Exactly, exactly. So, shall we talk Warzone?
Sure.
Shall we talk Warzone? Obviously, you've been playing a fair bit lately on with your duo. I'm allowed to call him
Yeah.
that. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, I play quite a lot with Cubs.
But how did you get into the whole Warzone? Have you always been a Call of Duty person, or
So with Call of Duty, I played Call of Duty 4 when I was younger. That was my first one in the series. Um, I played a lot of multiplayer with my friends back then. But obviously, that was like back in school when I had time to play games. Um, and then I probably played that through until Black Ops 2, I think was the latest one. And then I just kind of dropped off multiplayer games. I played a lot more single player stuff. But then when see the pandemic hit at the start of this or start of last year, uh, I couldn't see any of my friends. So it was like, what are we gonna do? We still need to, find some way of like interacting, doing something together. And Warzone was free. Was basically how it went. So I remember like it was just before the pandemic when I downloaded it on my PlayStation. We had like so many really quiet days at work. And working in a hotel, we have like a lot of conference space. So on one particularly quiet day, I drove home, picked up the PlayStation, hooked it up to a projector, and all of us were just sat around in this room taking turns on Warzone.
I love that story.
Yeah, that was the beginning of it, and then it kind of just went from there.
So at this point, was you obviously like friends with Cups and B&B?
No, no, not at all. This would have been maybe March last year. I don't think I really jumped on Twitch until uh, when would it have been? Like October or something? It was quite late into everything.
And
Maybe
obviously,
a little bit earlier, but yeah, there were a few months where I was playing without knowing anything about Twitch, really.
so you're relatively new to Twitch, and now everyone's looking to you for Twitch advice.
Yep. I
Uh,
think that's just my nature, though. Like I throw myself headfirst into something, into everything. I just have like this desire to know things.
yeah, I mean,
Um,
from what I've seen, there's not much you don't know how to do on Twitch, and we're still waiting for that YouTube channel to tell us all.
yeah, I need to set up a call with Hillbilly Man to talk that through.
Yeah, you're right, just obviously the whole
But just sent
hospitality
him.
uh, sector was massively hit.
Yeah.
I know you've recently gone back, haven't you? Like properly.
So I've been back to work now for 2 months, but I've had a lot of time off over the past year. The hotel I work for closed in at the end of March. I went back to work in September for a month or two. So I had like 6 months off straight away. Like no work, just on furlough. So that gave me a lot of time to play games.
A lot of Warzone time.
Yeah. And then it was all like hit and miss when we were going through the tiered system and then more lockdowns. Um and then yeah, I hadn't worked since before Christmas, and I went back in April. But now we're like fully open, just limits on table sizes.
Do you find with the work that you do that it is then easy to get in games with like cups?
Yeah, my
Also,
work schedule definitely helps that. Like, I wouldn't be able to have this sleep schedule if I had a 9 to 5, you know. But I usually start work at like 2 p.m. I get home at 10 or 11, and then my logic from that was like most people get home from work at 5 o'clock. They have 6 hours to like wind down, go to bed. I kind of do the same thing, just shifted 6 hours, which is the time difference between Central US.
yeah, yeah. And to be fair, there is a lot of similarities between you and Justin chatting. 'Cause he works in Madison Square Garden,
Hmm.
and that was when he got into obviously Twitch and like that when it lockdown went in. So you are quite similar people, apart from he doesn't have to adjust his sleeping pattern for his friends.
Yeah.
Is there like any times where you do find that difficult to do?
um, Days when I start earlier than 2. Those are difficult. Um, and there's one day a week at the moment where so I live with my girlfriend and her sister's staying with us at the moment. And they both go into the office to work on a Wednesday. And this week I started at 1 o'clock. They were in the office from like 8 o'clock, which meant I had to get up, do the dog walk, and then get to work for 1. That was a difficult one.
Yeah, I can't
But
imagine
I've
that was
I've
very
never
fun.
been a morning person.
No, exactly the same. I absolutely hate mornings. So the sleeping pattern, did you find that naturally shifted as you played with them, or was it a case of you forced yourself to stay
Um,
up one night and
no, I'd say it shifted before. 'Like without having any responsibility throughout the pandemic, I didn't have to get up for work. I just kind of just like doing what I want when I wanted. And for the most part, that would be playing games at night. Before I moved here, we lived with one of my best friends, his girlfriend, my girlfriend. Um, they'd be like up watching TV until 10 or 11 p.m., and then I'd have my time with the TV after that. So it was already kind of broken, but I'd say it's definitely become more broken since.
yeah, I mean every time that I watch you, you're always on
Hmm.
till ridiculous times.
Usually about 6 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great question from Holden Cup. How many spells do you know, and how many have you used on him?
I couldn't say. It's too many to count at this point. That's the answer to both of those.
Potion in the post definitely shows BJWafer love potion. Well,
Yeah, that's fair. I sent a few of those out. I guess Kath got one.
just be careful what you get. Just don't always trust a wizard. So, where did that nickname come from? That is,
That came. I think it definitely came from Beastmo Boon's chat. That was the first mod sword I got given.
King
But
Jules. Thank you for the gifted 5, man. Thank you very much. That gifted a tier 1 sub to myself, my old name, which I changed. Incredible. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, it came from that chat. I'm not sure who the first one was to say wizard. I mean, Cups is pretty famous for giving people nicknames. It could have been him, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like BNB Mum or Holden. I'm sure they had something to do with it. But
it
yeah,
just
it came from there, just like, doing all the mod things, answering questions they had.
he just sort of stuck. And speak of cups, and he will arrive.
Yep. There he is.
All good things,
Maybe he
honestly.
knows.
Yeah, Cups, do you know who first gave BJ the wizard nickname?
So I feel like it was a Cups thing, but we'll see.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Hmm.
But no, like I say, with obviously the modding stuff, obviously I'm guessing a lot of it was self-taught because there isn't that many guides out there.
I couldn't find anything. But yeah, I've trawled the internet trying to find any information. And most of it is like there's nothing all in one place. It's all like fragmented in different like Reddit threads. Some of them are like 5 years old.
Yeah.
The information's not relevant. Some of it's been just figuring it out based on like the Nightbot documentation. But it's been like a big learning process. But that's kind of just what I do when I have an interest in something.
Yeah, you go out of your way to learn and find out.
Yeah, it's always been the same for me with like pretty much anything I do.
Which is
And
very, very handy, especially say, on Twitch.
yeah, for sure.
What does so I'm just trying to figure out the goal as well. I believe we're now like 40 pounds away from the beard going, and I'm not happy at all because I still have over 20 hours to go. So yeah. Portia, no worries. Thank you very much. Enjoy your sleep. Have a great day at work as well, and I'll see you later on in Cups with the Raider 4. Thank you very, very much, and I hope you are doing well. If you have any questions for the wizard, please do drop them, and we will ask him anything. He has told me anything is go, so
Yeah, anything goes
and if we
until
get
I figure out.
yeah, anything goes
Yeah.
until something crosses the line, and then we just skip over it. How does one apply to be his duo?
Applications are closed until further notice. I've already got one.
There you go. Did he have to go through like an interview phase, or was it?
No, you just kind of have to put up with Cups for long enough, and then he adopts you.
How
It goes
does
from there.
how does one apply to make that a trio?
I'd
Great
have
question.
to discuss that with my duo.
Foot picks, is that foot picks how you get into the trio? Do you want foot picks from me? Foot picks from Wizard?
Cubs wants them from everyone.
Just everyone send Cups your foot picks. That's
Yeah. If anyone's got foot picks, it's Burnt Cupcake G on Twitter.
Do you still play on PS4, or have you made the switch to?
I'm on PC now. It's actually behind me. I went from a PS4 to a PS5 when they came out, and then built a PC back in, I want to say, November. Or no, I played on a PC that my brother gave me because he built a PC maybe 5 years ago and slowly upgraded absolutely everything in it. So he had just an entire spare PC sat in his wardrobe. He was like, "You should use this." Like, yeah, thank you, I will. Yeah, so I played on that for a little while.
Is your favourite loadout a Krig PKM?
I wouldn't touch either of those guns.
No, everyone knows it's a Scar and Axe. That's really the best loadout you can ever have. Dorsey can win with that, then anyone can win with that. So, with streaming itself, did you have the PC before you started streaming? Or
So I had a PC, but not this one. And I didn't start streaming until I built this one.
so you haven't been streaming too long?
No, not at all. When did I start? It would have been March, maybe, I think, was the first one.
Okay. So you see, because I thought you'd been streaming for a while.
No, it really hasn't been that long.
Impressive.
It's gone pretty quick, but
it really is
yeah,
impressive. Cup's just got his 4 months, so there you go.
I think 4 months is coming up. I want to say like the 25th or something was like the affiliate date.
That is pretty. Honestly, I really thought you had been going for a lot longer based on obviously how you carry yourself on stream and actually the whole stream setup itself. Because I know when I first started streaming, I was nervous as hell. If I went back watched my first few, I'd be like. So I'm guessing you had been watching people before you started streaming.
Yeah, I watched a lot of streams. I was kind of everywhere on Twitch. Uh, while if I wasn't playing Warzone, I was watching someone play Warzone pretty much for months. And then when I went back to work, that kind of shifted a bit, and I don't have quite as much time to spend in chats. But
Yeah, that sounds about Met Cup said Baby Goats chat. That definitely makes sense as well. Just wants to
yeah,
know what your spell is for a good GPU.
my trick for a good GPU was following a load of stock alerts on Twitter, Discord, and just getting lucky. Eventually,
Yeah,
it took months, but I finally got a 3070.
yeah, I think that's a struggle for everyone on PC at the moment.
Yeah, definitely wasn't a good time to build a PC, but I somehow managed to do it.
Also, Cheese, I know we need an updated goal with the gifted subs in, but that's effort. Bothered, so no. I wish I could update it, but that literally comes straight from just giving itself, so that's too much effort. And I do obviously have to thank you, Jay, for the very first donation on there as well, kicking us off in
Yeah, I had to
style as well.
get it started towards the shaved head.
Dreading that. It's mostly because I'm going to be absolutely exhausted as well. Maybe I probably should do that at a different time.
I don't know, I think a bodge job right at the end of a 24-hour stream. Especially without the clippers, like that's gonna be special.
Just take the line out in the middle and say that's enough. Go to sleep. Yeah, shaved tuna is happening. We are on, was it £105 there, and then we've had £100 in gifted as well now, gifted subs. So we're about £45 away from shaving the beard. To be fair, then maybe people would tell me that I stopped looking like you, which I don't personally see, but I have had a couple of people tell me that.
Yeah, I've seen a few little comments about it.
So I'm guessing it's because we're both British and we just all look alike. That's
Yeah, it's something like that. We all just look the same to them.
we could all be related. That is true. We could.
Wrong city for that.
He just texted us. we, I don't see it personally, but he's clearly much better looking than me. He's much better at Warzone than me as well. I don't know why I get you guys on. Any of you, you're just better than me at everything. So, but yeah, obviously Warzone, getting back into Call of Duty. Did you find it a struggle having like played multiplayer and then come into the battle royals, or did you play BRs before as well?
No. So I mean I played like a few games of Apex when it first released, but like season 0, like before they'd even introduced anything new. I played a few games of that, but I didn't have anyone to play it with, which is obviously a big part of BRs, especially playing as a team. And on Apex, like with the whole champion makeup.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so coming into Warzone was really like the first BR that I wanted to play and tried to play and wanted to get better at. But I played a lot of multiplayer beforehand, which doesn't translate very well,
no, he doesn't.
especially like playing multiplayer on controller and then coming to PC. It
Yes.
was like a different game.
So I know we've spoke about it before in your chat and everything, but did you make that transition straight to keyboard and mouse when you went onto PC, or did you play with a controller for a bit? And
No, as soon as I bought a PC, I full sent mouse and keyboard. I haven't. Well, I mean, I've touched a controller for like a few games since. Like my girlfriend's mum came to stay with us a couple of months ago. I didn't have access to my PC, so I played some multiplayer then. And other than that, like Boone asked me to play on controller a week or so ago.
which was
Um,
quite funny to be fair. So,
yeah, but yeah, those are the only times that I've touched a controller since I don't know, November, October.
so pretty impressive. Obviously, I know it can be difficult to make the transition from controller to keyboard and mouse, and obviously vice versa as well. Do you think that tied into you having lower stats than you'd like at the start? Because I know you've improved a lot recently. I know we've spoken about that as well.
Yeah, it's gone up quite a bit. I'd say more of like the downfall at the beginning was like playing on a console, playing on a 4K TV, rather than like my monitor right in front of me. On PC with a nice FOV. I know there are people that like are good on console, so it's not really an excuse, but I mean, guess it's probably the TV is the worst one.
Yeah,
But I
fantastic.
definitely think the mouse and keyboard helped. It feels a lot more natural to me to be aiming with. I have a lot more control.
So, do you have like a lot of desk space? Because I know you see people like Isaac who arms all over the place, and do you have a lot of space like that, or do you for the smaller movement?
No, I have quite a bit of space. Probably not as much as Isaac, but I'd say like at least 50 centimeters of mouse pad space just for mouse. But my like entire desk is a mouse pad.
I imagine it does, like say, help quite a lot, and
Yeah.
gives you a bit more freedom. Yes, you do definitely need to check him out. You definitely need to. Again, switch point wizard for his socials, his Twitter and his Twitch. Definitely go and give him a follow there. And I mean, like I said, that it's weird if you see a chat with him in that he doesn't have that sword next to him. So
Yeah, it does feel quite alien.
I think there's been a couple of times where I've seen you in other people's chats and it's like, oh, I didn't recognise you. Like I literally did not because he just wasn't there. So
Yeah, there's a few of them that I hang out in that I don't have a sword in yet.
it'll happen.
But yeah, yeah, they'll come.
Yeah, I'm. Thank you very much for following. Follow Cups as well. They play together an awful lot. There's a reason they call each other duo. So, do you think that helps as well, playing with a regular
Yeah,
teammate and
absolutely.
squad?
Just playing with someone that frequently, like you learn how they play, how they approach situations, and how you can help that as best you can. I mean, we're not like always fully in sync, but it's definitely getting better.
I mean, you're attached apparently. So,
hmm
what are your feelings on the current state of Warzone?
Um, I mean, right now with season 4, that started off pretty bad for me. My first game on, seeing that armored truck, I lost 4 and just went to bed. um, but yeah, before that, I mean, like it's been in a good spot for a month or two, and I know people are like complaining about all the cheaters all the time, but I don't feel like I run into them as often as some people. Um,
I
and
mean,
like obviously they're a problem, but I feel like we still have a lot of good games. We still win games.
I've snapped and logged off. I can imagine. I can imagine. I saw a clip on Twitter of the armored trucks and was like, why? What's the
I'm
point?
sorry to see.
Favorite meta of all time in Warzone. That's a good one.
So I came into playing Warzone, I think in like the end of season 4, which would have been like the Kilo MP5. Um, so I can't speak about anything before that. I mean, used to use the Growl quite a lot. Like Growl MP5 was probably one of my favorites. And I'd say since Cold War, I don't know, I really liked the FFAR when it was broken.
Yeah,
I used it quite a lot.
the Growl meta was where I first started playing Warzone, and
hmm
I didn't have it unlocked, and I did spend money to unlock that gun with the purple tracers because I was just
hmm
sick of constantly getting beamed by it. And honestly, it made me want to leave the game after not playing very long at all. So I was like, I need to do something because otherwise I'm just going to quit. And geez, you love the ground meta. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been a big fan of the AMAX, especially
Yes.
since switching to PC. That made a big difference with the AMAX. It becomes a different gun. But yeah, I guess I mean I'm still using the Amax now.
Yeah, I haven't played at all recently. I tried to jump on for some games last night, but obviously Xbox is still having the crashing issue. I can't actually get the game.
Nice.
But Amax is still my go-to in the loadout.
This game is
So
so broken on Xbox.
I
Takes
was
so long to like load into a game. Anytime you see an Xbox player, we're like, oh, have we lost them? Have we lost it? Oh, no, they're here. Don't worry.
I tried to jump in with Boone for his last couple of games, and every time they press search for a game, it just crashed back to the dashboard every time.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 times, so I was just like, no, just play some games. I'll just carry on watching. They are discovering trophies on vehicles in the M4 RPG meta. Yeah, obviously the RPGs at the start was fun. When PC upgrade, when Wizard Magic's me a GPU is when.
You mean when did I upgrade this one, or?
Yeah, it's a good question. When do you mean when he upgraded his, or when am I upgrading mine? What else did? I thought that I'd missed another question, but I can't see it now. So when me, yeah, when I can get a GPU is when. So when I become a full-time streamer and you all, pay me to live here and
Kath has the right approach to PC upgrades.
yes. Since you started streaming, what are the pros and cons of your experience?
Pros and cons of streaming. I'd say the big con for me is I don't have as much time to spend in other people's chats. Like that was a big part of Twitch for me. That's probably the main one that I miss. Just I used to be in so many streams all the time, tabs open.
Yeah, it's my life at the moment.
Um, but I guess pros just speaking to more people. Like they come into a chat to talk to me instead of I don't know, instead of like jumping into a conversation, and yeah, like finding more people to play with. Like I feel like I can approach more people
Yep.
than just being in their chat.
Do you ever find it
So, yeah.
tough when you look at a lot of bigger streamers and they are just frying every game? Do you ever get people coming in expect you to be doing that because you're streaming it on Twitch and you must be as good as everyone else? Do you ever feel pressure to deliver in that way, or?
I don't think so. Just because of the way that I got into streaming, like I feel like community was already there beforehand. So I didn't like start from zero and have to draw people in. Just saw Cubs comments.
Yep.
um, but yeah, I feel like like most of the people that are in my chat now, like I already knew before I started streaming. So I don't think that expectation's there. At least not like for me. I feel like as long as I feel like I need to have some good games, but if I don't, like it's not the worst thing. So I'm still playing with friends for the most part.
Yeah, and what's it the quote that we had last night? Relaxing and having fun, was it?
Fun and relaxing. This game is fun and relaxing.
So fun, so relaxing. But obviously, going forward, are you looking to potentially stay on Warzone, or are you going to make the move to Battlefield? Would be it
Um,
Battlefield multiplayer, or if they do release a VR?
feel like I might play some of the multiplayer, but for me, Battle Royale is what I enjoy right now. Like I find it hard to sink time into like any other game. I just have like an obsession with BRs.
Yep.
I tried to play Apex for a bit, but it wasn't for me. So yeah, I think I might touch Battlefield with the multiplayer, get some games in with like Crash, Hillbilly Man, Boone. I'm sure they'll be playing some multiplayer, but it won't capture my attention unless they release a BR.
Which is understandable. I think that might be what potentially has an issue with Battlefield when it comes out, because BR is absolutely massive. Question there from Just as well. How do we as streamers slash gamers attempt to balance family, work, and personal life? I mean, I
Um,
guess it's a bit easier with you, like you say, with the hours you work and
Yeah, my secret there is my family are asleep
Yeah.
when I game, other than days off. But even then, like I try and spend some time with them throughout the day, and then like their thing is watching TV or watching YouTube videos, and mine is coming upstairs and playing games with friends. Like I kind of explained it that way rather than just like because for a while I did get the questions like, why are you just playing games all the time? Like, well, I'm not just playing games on my own in my room. Like,
What's wrong with that? I do that. Although I'm never actually alone because I always have 5 or 6 different tabs up. There's always people on,
hmm
and I probably have far too many channel points in a lot of people's chats. I'm lurking in there, and yeah, he
hmm
he does live on standard time. He said
Yep.
obviously when he came on, he said this is about his dinner time. So do you worry you're going to sort of flip that back around with your week off? You got like your partner expecting you to do things, or
um, Not particularly. I mean, she like there's we kind of just live, do our own things. I mean, we still find time to do things together. Obviously, like on my birthday, we went out for dinner. We always try and eat together. Um, but I mean, after that, like I said, like her sister's staying here as well at the moment, so they finish dinner and they want to watch TV together, and I don't want to watch what they watch. We have very different tastes.
dare I ask what they watch?
Their thing at the moment is watching like house renovation vlogs on YouTube. And like there's this one person they follow that was like she used to be in prison and she does like prison recipes.
Okay,
it's it's not
interesting.
my thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, taste that people have.
But then like in the same vein, like they don't want to sit and watch people play Warzone, so
That is very true. That is very true.
to each their own.
So I'm going to give you a hypothetical question here. You're now a developer for Warzone. What do you do for
hmm
the next season? What do you do to change things and make it more attention grabbing? Because obviously the Battlefield hype's going to be ramped up even more. What do you do to try and keep people interested and invested in Warzone?
I mean, the big one for a lot of people is just going to be an anti-cheat, right?
Yeah,
But I don't even know. Like for me, it still captures my attention now, so it's hard to say like what I would change. I mean, no broken guns. It was in a good spot before that, but
yeah, they really didn't do a good job with the updates. Patch notes are great. The actual updates
yeah.
itself, they always manage to break somehow. So, but is there any like balances that you want to see the current guns, shall we say? Take out the new ones because they're broken.
I mean, remove the new ones, and I think it's still in a good spot. Like they nerfed the AMAX a little bit more, so it's not as dominant, but it's still very good. You can kind of just use anything. Like once they get rid of the MG, whatever is 82, the new LMG.
Yeah,
I think that's the only one that I'd consider really broken right now. The rest of them seem balanced in some way.
I think a rank system would be good as well, as Club said. Um, and I know a lot of people have the issue with the skill-based matchmaking,
hmm
and I think that would solve a lot of their issues with that if they just got rid of that in regular modes and had a ranked mode. I think that would answer sort a lot of people. But then again,
I mean,
that
you say that, but then like if someone's trying to get content for a YouTube channel and drop high kill games, they won't play ranked. They'll play casual, and then
that
you'll
is
have the
true.
exact same problem.
True, and obviously then you're
I
just
think,
gonna get
like
cheaters or
for
going
me,
to ranked
yeah,
anyway to ruin everyone. So
the I don't know, skill-based matchmaking. I feel like it has its place. It's just not done perfectly.
yeah, no, I agree
Um,
with that. It needs a tweak to the algorithm.
hmm Like I wouldn't want to play in the easiest lobbies every game because you're not going to improve.
No, no, I know I said that to Cheese stuff that I would rather be stomped on by everyone because it's going to help me improve. I'm going to look at situations like, well, what could I have done better there? Whereas
Hmm.
if you're having a gunfight with someone that's a relative like same skill level or worse, then you're not particularly learning too much from that.
Kath raises a good point. There definitely needs to be less dead silence.
Yes, there does. Um,
Heartbeat, I don't really have an issue with. Like, I don't really run Ghost that often, so if someone's got a heartbeat, they're gonna bump into me. But then you can catch them with a heartbeat out.
what do you think to the suggestion that I think it was Jay God made of changing the heartbeat counter to cold blooded, so you have to pick between?
That would be good, or just add like a battery level to it, so it doesn't work the entire game. I've seen that suggestion quite a bit.
Considering Warzone streamers are everywhere, how do you attempt to diversify and make your game stand out more? Good question.
Um,
I mean, obviously, it's very difficult to do on a game like BL when there
yeah,
is so many people that do stream it.
yeah, it's definitely a very saturated category on Twitch. I don't know. I don't really feel like I've tried to make myself stand out that much.
I,
Um,
I think with people like yourself and Cubs, a lot of the appeal
mhm,
for me that smaller streamers have are the channel points that you have.
mhm,
So we can make you do different things. Obviously, you're never going to get an Isaac, a Duke, is a Swag, and Nick Merckx doing a gun game, for
yeah,
example. That is never going to happen. And for me, that just spices things up, and that's
mhm.
what I really enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to think of a few more to throw in there. Like since Boone asked me to play on controller, maybe adding one to play on controller for a game or two. Um, it definitely helps like separate, I guess, some of the smaller streamers. But I don't know, the way I kind of approached setting up the stream was I want to make everything look and sound as good as I can, which is probably the way that separates from most small streamers. Like, I'm a fan of like the minimal look, so I don't like massive overlays all over the screen with like
Yeah,
I like it to be a lot more subtle. I think that helps like when there's not like a huge distraction from the game.
yeah. I think that's an issue as well when you are playing a game like Warzone. Is you have too much going on, and people are missing
Mhm.
things as well. Like, say if you've got massive overlay, people are then
Mhm.
potentially missing parts of your mini map, or you're then spinning to shoot at someone and people aren't seeing it and get called a hacker because you can't kill someone without being called a hacker on Warzone anymore either. So high alert is interesting. I know a few people started running that, didn't they, after using it with the specialist bonus?
Yeah, I've had a few people that I play with run high alert. Like a few of the guys I know from IRL. Some of them run high alert, and it comes in handy sometimes, but probably not as often as a ghost or a restock. Like at the moment, I
Yeah,
find myself running restock most of the time, just because if I don't have those utility like stuns or the lethals, I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's more of a detriment than knowing that someone's aiming at me across the map.
yeah, true. Because that enemies are aiming at you, doesn't mean they're going to hit you. Cause especially if it's me, I am not hitting my shots, so that's just a waste, really. Is there any mode that has been on Warzone so far that you'd like to bring back, like a limited time mode? Is there any, or do you have any ideas in mind of what you think would be a great mode for?
For me, as long as those things are separate, I haven't
Yeah,
really played many of them. Just what they've done like Kingslayer, which I played briefly to see what it was, and figured it wasn't for me. And like I played a little bit of Armored Royale, and it wasn't for me. I don't know. I found with a lot of like the limited time modes, they're there. I don't tend to touch them that much.
yeah, they pop up and you jump in and think, okay, let's have a look what
Hmm.
this is like, and then yeah, you just end up back on the big one. Anything
Yeah.
but Rebirth.
I mean, I've enjoyed like when they had buybacks. Uh, the one where instead of the gulag, if you have enough money, you come back. Those are fun. But other than that, I don't think there's any that I've missed or would want to see again. Or if they do come up, like I'm not playing them.
Now, I know when Warzone was pretty fresh, there was a load of leaks about like limited time modes that they were going to bring out, and I know a few of them come out, but to me, they did always seem like a gimmick, not intended to be longer term. And then obviously they added in the in-game events as well, your jailbreaks, your fire cells, things like that. Is there anything that you'd like to add in that way as well? Anything that you could take the game up mid-game?
Um, Anything
By the
in
way, I'm sending
particular?
all these
I'm not
clips off
sure.
to the developers now. No, because obviously
No,
the
I'm not
jailbreaks are
sure about
nice.
in-game stuff.
Jailbreaks a nice little bonus,
Hmm.
especially if you are kill hunting. I know
Yeah.
you don't tend to get that many people come back. So a lot of people obviously quit out. You're not going to sit in a game in the hope jailbreak if your team's dead. I like that. I like the fire sale idea as well. That spices things up as well.
Yeah.
But things like the supply choppers, to
Yeah,
me,
I
it's
don't want that there.
just a wasted event. At least they balanced that from when it first came out. The sound was atrocious.
I mean, I've seen a clip of the supply choppers like spawning and killing someone because for some reason they rise up from the ground. They
Yep.
don't come down. So I saw it was like someone in a tournament. They got killed by a supply chopper spawning in downtown.
That is just, it's reminded me of a clip of Just as well when Nakatomi was going on. And he just won his gulag and he was just dropping back in, and that chopper spawned and killed him out of the air. Sorry, just
I don't
for.
know.
It was hilarious, I'm not going to lie.
I feel like for the most part, like those in-game events or like limited time modes, they're more of a hindrance than a help. Other than like obviously jailbreaks or fire sales, like if you're trying to regain. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't feel like there's anything that I'd want to add like that.
Where I thought chopper spawn from the ground was yes, they
Right?
was.
It doesn't make sense.
Faster closing circles right from the beginning of the game, closes much faster between each circle, force more hot drops, faster rotation. Yeah, I mean that could spice things up again. I know one thing that Cheese had mentioned when we first started playing was to not show the circle until everyone's dropped,
Yeah, that would be interesting.
which I think would be say
The thing
interesting,
I
but
don't understand at the moment is like you're dropping in those helicopters, right, or flying in formation, and you will drop out of one helicopter.
yep, that is true. And
It'd be
then
quite interesting to have people start like say further away from each other.
you obviously the goal is to kill everyone, but you're in this helicopter with a pistol. Why don't you just shoot everyone up in the air? I mean, come on. Holding played one game as he interviewed, still not done a red door. I was off for breakfast and swim. Well, enjoy breakfast and you swim. What is this red door? I haven't actually seen it yet.
There's a few of them around the map. They take you to like a room with a bunch of red boxes and kill streaks and stuff, and then I guess you leave them and it teleports you somewhere else because
Okay,
Cubs
interesting.
went into one at Summit and came out in Lumber.
Interesting. You say I haven't actually played it yet, and I haven't seen too many do that yet. Satellite crashes
I,
happen too often.
I've thought of an answer for the dev thing now. I would
Okay.
just separate the audio levels.
Yes.
It's so frustrating to me that footsteps are tied to like vehicle sounds.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to a truck, but I do want to hear footsteps. Just let me adjust those levels separately.
Yeah, and you think that's a simple fix, but
They just seem so intent on deafening me in the past like 3 seasons. Obviously, we've had those nukes flying around the
yeah.
map, which was so obnoxious.
I
I
remember
hated that.
remember the first time that I saw that happen on stream. I was just like, "What is going off right now? Like, what's that
Hmm.
noise?" Someone's like, "It's the nukes going." I'm like, "Does this happen every game?" They're like, "Yeah, virtually." Not playing this.
They had like they had the boat cutscene at the beginning. That was horrible. And like the plane used to be ridiculously loud. They adjusted that, but
yeah, you go to drop in and you get that
as well.
initial sound, and it's just, oh god, no, like. Yeah, it was not fun.
There's that clip of Isaac with people like asking him why he mutes the game, and it's just him screaming over the sound at the plane. Like,
yes,
that illustrates it perfectly. I want to be able to turn that down. But yeah, the mute button is very good. I make use of that all the time.
Yeah, it is a godsend in that game. My dog is apparently destroying my room now as well, so that's brilliant. It's been a very quick hour again. I've said this with everyone, but these are absolutely flying by.
Yeah, it's flying. 5 minutes.
Got Dorsey up next as well, so that'll be interesting also. Do you have anything that you are wanting to shout out yourself? Anything upcoming?
Not anything that I can think of right now. So we've got the next King of the Court on Sunday. I don't know how signups are going for that because that only went out a week ago. But everyone should look into that if they haven't already. I think it's duos this time around. But yeah, beyond that, I mean, there's some stuff behind the scenes that I don't think I can talk about yet.
Okay. Interesting. Keep your eyes peeled on that. And again, make sure you are following his Twitter and his Twitch. I'm glad I looked at that before I sent it out because I cannot spell. So yes, you will, Cheese. When we get the PC sorted, he can be my duo, and we can have kill races with BJ and Cubs. And get destroyed because I'm no good at all. But no, there is a lot of people that I do need to get games in with. Your mic looks even more odd this angle.
It's the dude from Doctor Who.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And well, while Cups is here as well, well done on getting the 150 wins as well. Taken long enough. But no, it's been a pleasure having you on here.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good hour. I didn't really know what to expect coming in, but
nope, I did not either. I've literally been making this all up as we've been going along. It is the same mic as I've got, yes. He just got his there, mine's here off camera.
Yeah, I got mine all up in my face.
To be fair, mine normally is in the camera, but for some reason it's not today, so just sort of keep it out of there. Thank you for the 1-bit as well, Jojo, very much appreciated. Say if you haven't already followed him on Twitter, and go and give him a follow, it's well worth it. And pick his brain because he knows everything about everything. So,
and if not, I'll probably go and learn it just to answer the question.
Yeah, exactly. So,
that's how it goes.
I keep telling people it's not about the interview; it's the guests that I've had on. They make it all very, very easy for me. We are going to go and pick up Dorsey. So we're going to go throw back to the VT, which I'm sure everyone's sick of seeing right now. But we will. What colour is Cathedral Stakes pants?
Is that pants in the British sense or the American sense?
Interesting. I want to see
the US way, so I'm guessing.
It does. Well,
how much are flights to Norway?
Yeah, there is a difference. It's a massive. We're gonna have to educate everyone. Your pants are trousers.
Yeah, pants in Britain is underwear.
This is. I know what the rest of this chat's going to end up being now. So. Yeah, we're going to go through to the VT. I'm going to go pick up Dorsey. We're going to have a chat with him. Thank you very much for coming on, man. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night.
It was a good spot to end on there.
It was, definitely. And I'm sure you'll be potentially in the chat answering any questions as well for people that want to know any difference in clothing.
Yeah, I'll take over the US versus UK chatter while you conduct your interviews.
Yeah, to be fair, me and Dorsey probably just be arguing about it as well now. So I'll be back on the other side, guys. It won't be